What is up, Heffas and friends? Welcome to another riveting episode of Java and Journeys with Jillian. If you're new here to this channel, my name is Jillian. How are you doing? Y'all, this is very unusual. So I am here first thing in the morning at EPCOT. My co-producer, aka husband, has actually not been able to check out the Flower and Garden Festival. So I wanted him to get in on the action. And as many of you all know who have been following and watching a lot of my previous videos where we have covered the Flower and Garden Festival on a couple of occasions, there's still so much food for us to try. So we're going to walk around, see what we're going to get into in terms of the munchies, as well as partake in some Java and some of the cool coffee beverages they have here to offer. And as a special treat, we are going to actually take the Skyliner. That is right, I've never taken the Skyliner before. We're going to take that over to Pop Century Resort because there is an infamous Mickey ice cream truck sundae that I want to check out. It looks so cute, and I'm like, I have to have this as a display item on my mantle. So I want to A, see if I can get this ice cream truck, and B, actually see if I can get an ice cream sundae served in this truck. Let's go ahead and get on this journey. Y'all, with us being here first thing in the morning, you see these crowds. And typically, especially this is at the time of filming, Easter weekend, a lot of people are out and about. I am just not used to this life of waking up first thing in the morning to go to Disney. As a matter of fact, I think this may be, since I've lived in Florida, the first time that I've actually gotten up early to come out here, especially coming off of being at Epic Universe all day. Check out my prior video. I may actually end up posting a couple, but we'll see where we're at by the time this video comes out. Epic Universe was met with a lot of mixed results, so I encourage you to check out that video if you haven't. But we literally spent all day at Epic Universe, and how your girl has managed to drum up enough energy to wake up first thing in the morning, I don't know. Like, this is pure adrenaline. This is, I took my B12 vitamin today. So, and your girl's feeling extra spicy. She got her hair did. You can't tell her nothing. So maybe that's what it's the new hair energy. It's the B12 vitamin energy. It is also taking you all on my shenanigans and quest. And I also wanted to bring back the good vibes because while Epic Universe was really cool and I had an amazing time, so to speak, there was also a lot of things that were quite disappointing about that trip. So again, check that out. The Universal staff, though, is absolutely awesome. The teammates are awesome. And the situation was rectified by the end of the experience. But here we are back now at Disney. So for me, it kind of feels jarring to come from running around Epic Universe, trying to do as much as we could, even though we couldn't do as much as we want to do. And again, check out my video so you get the rundown of the happenings that occurred. It actually feels nice and refreshing to be in a sense of calm, right? It's calm amongst the chaos. And it's not chaos for me, girl. It's chaos from all those families and travelers that are coming in, running around, that frantic energy of trying to get to your first spot when you get here at rope drop first thing in the morning. But for me, I am calm, cool, and collected. Miss Jillian is not rushing for no one and anyone. So it feels really nice to not be in that energy of what do we need to do? Where do we need to go? Because especially at Epic Universe, I just had no idea what to expect. So I'm like, what are we going to do? And so it's nice to just be back into like the ease of being in no rush. And with that being said, I think we're actually going to hop on a couple of rides, but you know your girl's going to check back in with you along the way once we really start getting into some of the food offerings here at the Flower and Garden Festival, especially some things that I haven't been able to try yet. There's another coffee beverage that I'm super excited to try out and take you along that experience with me. So continue to stay tuned. Friends, we are going to head over to the French/France Pavilion and check out the patisserie. Like I said before, it's the morning time here. I am ready to get into some Java and maybe get something good and breakfasty to eat. I am feeling a quiche this morning, and I've actually never been to the patisserie in the France Pavilion. So we're gonna head over there, and of course, along our walks, y'all, this is just so stunning and beautiful. I love Flower and Garden because of all the topiaries that they have, of our favorite characters, and just the ambiance. It's so gorgeous. And today is actually a beautiful day. We have a nice breeze going on here in Florida. The highs are supposed to be in the 80s right now. I think it's probably in the 70s. It doesn't feel too humid. It doesn't feel too hot just yet. And speaking of topiaries, look at us coming up on our friend Goof over here, just taking time out to smell the flowers, so to speak. So beautiful and fun. And you all know how we like to change our plans around here, so we are actually making a quick stop at the Canada Pavilion because the maple popcorn smells so good, and we are going to actually check out the little Canada film, have some popcorn, and they have an alcoholic drink, a peach smash made with Canadian whiskey. So, I mean, it's not the kind of Java I would want to start my morning with, but why not? It's 5 o'clock somewhere and it's the weekend, and I think this drink sounds super delicious. So my co-producer and I are going to try it out on our way over to France. All right, y'all, so here is our peach smash, which looks so pretty and very simple, right? You have our little flower at the top, but our whiskey and peach here. So you all know how we do things over at Java and Journeys. Cheers. Thank you for joining me today, and this is going to be one of many drinks we're going to be trying out. This is so delicious. I can't wait for you to try this. I am happy that my co-producer suggested to try it. It just tastes so refreshing. The peach does not taste artificial. It tastes like a fresh peach. Decided to bathe in some whiskey that's smooth. It's not heavy. And I think this is actually a great brunch drink. Look at me, y'all. I'm trying to justify drinking in the morning, but really and truly, like, have this with your croissant or with some quiche. This would be a perfect combination. So I actually highly recommend this drink. If you happen to find yourself to be able to come over to EPCOT during the Flower and Garden Festival, stop over at Canada, get you the peach smash. This is awesome. Great way to start out your morning. And as we're walking over to see the Canada film, I wanted to show you all some of the gardens, and we just found out that this little section here is inspired by the Bouchard Gardens. Y'all, the Bouchard Gardens is absolutely stunning. Over near Victoria, BC in Canada, it is just so gorgeous, and we've been there both like in the summer and in the winter. And both times we've seen the gardens, it's just absolutely stunning. And we were just saying like, oh, this gives us Bouchard Garden vibes. And lo and behold, this whole section has been inspired by the Bouchard Gardens. I have to say, like, this is just such a lovely morning. And I want to give you all, as we're having these food experiences, continuous shots of the beauty of the gardens, because how are we going to talk about Flower and Garden Festival and not see any gardens? But it's just so beautiful and serene, and especially when the gardens are very much built around the different countries, so they all don't look the same. They all look emblematic and representative of those like little garden moments of the countries that you're in, which I think is awesome, very thoughtful. And who doesn't love a good garden, especially in the spring? Your girl does not have a green thumb at all, but I love admiring gardens, and it's like one of my favorite hobbies, that if we're ever vacationing somewhere, there's like a nice park or a garden to just admire. It gives you those peaceful vibes, right? We're all about peace right now, especially in my life. I'm like, no drama Obama over here. So yeah, this is really lovely. Friends, we just left the Canada Pavilion and we are approaching France. We're going to try the patisserie first and then make our way over to this opposite side where you can actually load on the Skyliner. And as I said before, I've never been on the Skyliner before, so I'm looking forward to heading over to Pop Century to try this ice cream sundae served in a Mickey ice cream truck. We'll see if they even have it. And we'll make our way back over here to try some more food that's a part of the Flower and Garden Festival. I'm super excited. Also, you all know I'm not afraid to correct myself. So before any of you hardcore Disney stans come for me, the Canada film is called Canada Far and Wide, not Oh Canada. That was the prior film. So my co-producer, who, like I told you all, is definitely much more of a Disney head than I am. He knows the ins and outs and will probably crush a good Disney trivia if it was about parks and factoids and things like that. Y'all know I'm just here for a good time. I'm like, okay. So I've told y'all before, I don't really, even though I film a lot at Disney, it's because Disney's in my backyard. So I hang out here quite a bit. I do not consider myself to be a theme park vlogger, content creator in terms of like really being ingratiated within. Maybe, I guess, like I'm adjacent to it. And y'all know it's with a Java twist. If we were to ever move, I would have to pick a place that gives me the kind of activities that I would love. It's not always going to be Disney, right? Florida is not my home. I'm here temporarily. I'm here for a good time, not a long time. So for now, while we have Disney in my backyard, I'm going to come here and enjoy it and take you all on these antics of mine that are oftentimes unstructured, unplanned, because we're just going with it. We're winging it for the most part. And we see our Beauty and the Beast topiary over here as we make our way over to the patisserie. And I feel like of all the pavilions, the France Pavilion is definitely one of my favorites. I know I've mentioned that before. I love the vibe. I have never been to France, but I imagine this is capturing just like a small glimpse. It gives you a little taste, right? A little appetizer of what I would assume France is like on a much, much, much smaller micro scale. But it's so cute back here. And we may even see the Beauty and the Beast sing along while we're here because we've never actually seen that. Typically over in this building you all are looking at is the Impressions de France film. But during the daytime, because there's a lot more families out here, they change it to a Beauty and the Beast sing along. So the patisserie is in this back corner. And we are going to stand in this line here, and hopefully it won't be too long. I'm excited to get my Java on, and I think I'm going to eyeball some type of quiche or croissant, something breakfast adjacent before we head on to the Skyliner. So we are getting closer to getting inside the Boulangerie Patisserie, and this place, as you can see from the long line, is extremely popular. So if you're visiting and you want to come by here, I recommend definitely coming by here as early as possible before it gets as busy as it is right now. And also there is very limited seating, as you can see, but they do have these bars that you can stand at here. But if you're lucky enough to get a table, it's really nice to just get out of the Florida heat and sun. Okay, y'all already know what's up. Looking at the menu here with the beverages, y'all, we're gonna go for a cappuccino because I'm feeling something that is not quite as creamy as a latte, that's latte adjacent, a bit more foamy at the top. So we're going to do that. They also have some very delicious pastries, but we're trying to pace ourselves on this day. So I actually think what we're going to end up doing is getting a like a spinach quiche, and we're going to share that, take a little bit of a break, and then head over to the Skyliner. And I wanted to ask, Are some of y'all out there big pastry people? Drop it in the comments. Let me know, what are some of your favorite pastries? I'm looking at this, and though I literally just said we're not going to get anything sweet, of course they do this to tempt you. All of this looks really good. Y'all, I'll tell you some of what I really like. I love a good almond croissant. I love chocolate croissants. I also like the macaroons, are delicious. Those are typically the ones I gravitate toward. Some of these I would not mind trying out. It looks so delicious. But y'all, we have a long day of delicious treats and bites ahead of us, because as we were even walking past Canada and getting into the France Pavilion, we saw a slew of food items, a part of the festival that we cannot wait to try. And again, as we're making our way through the line, look at some of these sandwiches and the more savory pastries over here. Like, all of that looks absolutely delicious. My mouth is literally watering. I'm like, let's go. Give me my coffee and give me my quiche, and I will be on my merry way. All right, so we have made our way with our food in tow. Let me just show you a little bit of what the crowd looks like as of right now. So you see there's like a constant stream, a steady line flow. So this place stays perpetually busy. But let's check out some of our bites. So we have the quiche Florentine, and this is going to have some spinach in it and goat cheese, correct? Initially, my co-producer thought that there was Gruyere, but it turns out to be goat cheese, so I'm looking forward to trying this out. And then, though I said that that was all we're going to get, he really wanted to try this eclair, so we have that as well. And you all know how I like to do things over here. I have my cappuccino, so before I add anything to it, I'm going to try it out, let you all know how it tastes. We love our Java here. We're always trying to stay highly caffeinated. So again, another cheers. Let's see how this cappuccino tastes. Ooh. Oh my God, y'all, that is super, super hot. So proceed with caution. Also, this just came out of like a standard coffee machine. It's not great. Again, you all know I'm going to keep it real. The cappuccino does not have a strong espresso taste. It actually just tastes like drip coffee with a little bit of steamed milk. So it gives me more cafe au lait vibes versus a cappuccino. And again, for those of you all that are like, what are the differences between a latte and cappuccino? A latte has more milk in it. It's a creamier espresso beverage versus a cappuccino that has a lower amount of steamed milk and more foam at the top. That definitely does not taste like a cappuccino whatsoever. Let's actually look under the hood, because I haven't even seen what this looks like. So I'm not really seeing hardly any foam at the top. Y'all, this is definitely not a cappuccino. It is creamy, but like I said, it's not even a latte. It's definitely a cafe au lait drip coffee with some hot milk. It's very, very, very hot. So if you happen to come over to the patisserie and you're ordering a hot drink, just be very, very, very careful. That is like boiling hot. Like, it's way too hot for what it should be, but that's just my opinion. So disappointed with the coffee, but again, like, this is a quick service restaurant. This is not a fancier sit down experience with a coffee drink that is coming from an actual espresso bar, an espresso machine. So all good. It's not like that's going to ruin my day. My expectations, as soon as I saw the machine, it was coming out, I was like, okay. You all see how busy it is out here. So they're trying to move people in and out very quickly. So while I'm a little bit disappointed, it's all good. Like, I'm still going to drink the coffee. We still got to get our caffeine on, and I'm going to get into this quiche. And check out the inside of our quiche Florentine. You see that spinach goodness, and of course it's surrounded by cheese. I cannot wait to get into this. And what I appreciate is that this is not like in some sort of case. You see here, the steam is like wafting off of this. So I saw them heat this up. So this is hopefully not going to taste cold at all. That's good. What do you think? And there's nothing to it, right? It's egg, spinach, goat cheese. I really like this. The flavors are good. It tastes well seasoned. It doesn't taste like it needs anything. If anything, just because your girl likes her hot sauce in her bag swag. I wouldn't mind a little bit of hot sauce on this, but that's just a preference thing. The crust is crunchy. The pastry is flaky. There's nothing stale about this. A great buttery crust. I think that if this was on the Great British Bake Off, this would be Paul Hollywood approved. At least I'd hope so. Your girl does not know how to bake. But look at this crust. Like, I know a flaky crust when I see it, and it's buttery, eggy goodness. So definitely, though I can't recommend if you are a coffee connoisseur of sorts, the coffee is plain Jane basic. I definitely, though, highly recommend where they shine, of course, is going to be in the pastries, in the food items. Definitely try out that quiche for yourself. You will not be disappointed. All right, let's get into the chocolate eclair. And you can kind of see the interior of it here. It has a chocolate filling, which that was a little bit surprised to me. I thought it would be like more of a vanilla custard. And we'll see if this is going to be any good. I don't know why. I'm a little bit nervous about this tasting a bit stale, and not because it's not fresh, but because it's probably been refrigerated, but we'll see. That's really delicious. That's not stale. That's much better than what I thought. The way my co-producer was cutting it, I was like, oh my gosh, it's probably so refrigerated that it's going to affect the texture of the dough. It's not the best dough. It's not like the pâte à choux on an eclair. I like the pâte à choux to be a bit more flakier, lighter, but I honestly think that's probably because this has been chilled a little bit. Still good flavor. I actually like my quiche better than the eclair. Of course, we're comparing apples and oranges here, but in terms of the quality of the pastry, I think the quality is more elevated in the quiche. The eclair, I think had we gotten the eclair, like let's just say very fresh, pâte à choux was cooled down, it had just been recently filled, that maybe would be different. But I feel like anytime you start chilling pâte à choux, that inevitably is going to affect the texture of the dough. And your girl, again, is not any type of pastry expert, okay? But I know what I like. And this is just my little old opinion, little old perspective. I feel like I've had better eclairs. So if I had to give it out of a 5, the quiche, I would give that like a solid 4. The eclair, I'd probably give that like a 2.5. Not my favorite, but also not terrible. It's okay. I would be interested in actually trying some of the other pastries, like the almond croissant. I was telling you I'm a huge lover of croissants. They also had like an apple croissant that looked really good, but we're trying to pace ourselves here. So we're going to continue to finish up, and we'll catch you on the Skyliner. All right, friends, let's head over to the Skyliner. And with this being my first time, I've actually never walked over to this area. And this is adjacent to the France Pavilion. And I am looking forward to seeing what this experience is like. The wind is starting to pick up a little bit, so hopefully that doesn't impact our ability to get on. It doesn't cause any delays. At first, I was like, oh man, is a storm coming through here? But I think we're okay. It's still very much so partly cloudy. It just got a little dark there for a second, which honestly, I welcome some shade right now. And while we're walking, we have our friends, the penguin over here, saying hello. And if there wasn't already a line, I would totally get a picture with the penguin, because why not, y'all? I lied. The line is actually quite small. We're going to get a picture. I rarely ever do any character pictures, and the penguins only come out here and there. That was so much fun. So the penguin and I were getting down, we were doing a little dance, and we just got into, because as soon as my co-producer and I got a picture with the penguin, he tap danced away. So that was very cute and such a rare thing for me. I hardly ever get Disney characters, but the penguins are not out here all the time. So I'm like, come on now, let's bring a little Mary Poppins magic to this vlog. Oh, and we have Daisy. Daisy is making an appearance, and she's out. And I think she's actually about to duck away, no pun intended. That's so cool to see some of the characters, and especially when it's a rare character and the lines are super, super, super short. And I was looking, I'm like, and then I'm like, we're not too good to get a picture with the penguins. So that was a fun way to welcome us to the Skyliner. And this breeze feels so nice, because like I said, it feels like a storm is about to roll in, but it still is very much so partly cloudy. So I'm looking forward to hopping here on. All right, here's an up close view of the Skyliners. And I have been wanting to get on these since we first moved here a year and a half ago, and I just have never found the moment. And now here we are. And this is a perfect time to do so, because we're trying to get our little ice cream truck sundae from Pop Century. And in thinking through the logistics, it's like, why not leave from EPCOT and then we'll come back in and try some more treats from the Flower and Garden Festival. And then here's the entrance to the Skyliner. And of course, this is from EPCOT. We have made it on, and that was nice and easy. Literally not a wait, pretty much a walk up. So we caught this at a great time. I am pretty sure that right around the time of park closing, it's probably a lot longer of a wait to get on. So don't take, I'm getting on this early afternoon when there's not a lot of traffic coming back and forth from the resort. So that's why it was super easy for me to get on. Just know that during peak times, there will be a wait. I have actually heard horror stories, especially if the Skyliner is down because of inclement weather or anything like that. So make sure to always check before you hop over here the time of day you're getting on, as well as the weather, because if it's terrible, they're not going to be running it.
We hope you enjoyed your visit to EPCOT and World Showcase. Did you learn how to say hello in a different language today?
We. Friends, we have just gotten off. We are currently located at the Caribbean Beach Club transfer station. And now, just to show you a little bit about what this looks like, we are going to transfer over to Pop Century Resort. And you'll see here the signs. That way, if you are visiting, you know which way to go. This is really cool. I have never been back here, so it's really neat to see how they have this lined up. But that is our side that we need to go on over to my left.
For your safety, please remain seated, supervise children, and refrain from smoking in cabins. Thank you. Para su seguridad, por favor, permanezcanse sentados, supervisen a sus niños y absténganse de fumar en la cabina. Gracias.
Hi, two. Hi, thank you. That was nice because, again, no line, but we're here early afternoon. I am really loving this like non-traditional coming non-peak because it truly is a breeze. And my co-producer was telling me that also another thing to just be mindful of if the weather is really hot and if this thing ends up stalled for whatever reason, it can be a lot. So I also think plan ahead if you can. Bring your own kind of bottled water if you know you're coming here, especially like peak summer and you're going to take the Skyliner in case you do experience any delays. They do have emergency kits on all the Skyliners, especially if there is a significant issue going on, something technical, and these things are stalled for a number of hours. So that's really nice.
Welcome aboard the Disney Skyliner at Disney's Caribbean Beach Resort. Now get ready to travel back in time and enter the animated worlds of Disney.
Okay.
We are on our way to Disney's Pop Century Resort and Disney's Art of Animation Resort.
Well, there you go. So I think that it's always good to be prepared for things like this because there's a nice breeze, but these things are not AC, centrally air controlled. So what you feel going through here is just the natural breeze of the Skyliner being in the air and going through. So I can only imagine that if this thing stops, it could probably feel really warm very quickly. So again, just be mindful of that if you want to get on the Skyliner. But this has been a lot of fun. I actually am enjoying the serenity of it. We are on the Skyliner on our own.
Just ahead.
So this has been quite lovely and really nice, especially if you just need that break. So not a bad tip if like you're exhausted, your family's exhausted, and you just need a little bit of a break. The weather doesn't look ominous and crazy outside. It may not be a bad idea just to like get on. This is free, a free mode of transportation that Disney offers. So it may be something to take advantage of because you could probably get your own Skyliner when they're not super busy versus piling on, crowding on with others at peak times. And we are actually about to head on off right now. So let's head over to Pop Century and get this ice cream truck sundae. We have made it over to the Pop Century food court. Let's go ahead and head in and check out the ice cream truck sundae. And fun fact, y'all, I have actually never been here at Pop Century before. My co-producer has stayed here once. This was a while back, but I have never been here. So this is actually really cool to see the pop cultural references and the little details. And here is the food court up ahead. We have an arcade that we're passing by. So you could definitely tell that they are equipped here to deal with very large groups, which of what I know about Pop Century is that for sure, like anytime there's big sporting events, like cheerleading competitions, things like that, a lot of the schools end up staying over here because they can just handle large parties. And walking through here, I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah, this totally feels like it is meant for big families, school groups. You even see here in the cafeteria, this is pretty massive. And luckily, we're coming here not at peak time because I feel like this would be overwhelming for me. But y'all, I see our ice cream bucket over here on top of the counter. I cannot wait to get our sundae, and it also featured here on the menu. So let's check it out. We have our ice cream truck sundae. It looks so cute. So you'll see here, they actually put this in a dish, so it's not self-serve in the actual truck itself, which is nice. But you have Mickey here driving the ice cream truck. Donald is serving us some banana splits and some sundae sprinkles. And then y'all, the ice cream cone here is a spoon. So you pop it out, and the plastic is still on here, so it's making it a little difficult. But if I can get this out, you see that this is a whole spoon, which is so cute. I'm actually not going to take this out the wrapper because we still have some fun left at EPCOT. So I'm going to keep this wrapped up, and I just picked up a couple of spoons to have. We have Mickey, of course, still driving on the other side, and Goofy is here helping out Donald when it comes to serving us the treats. So I just think this is so adorable and a great summertime display that I'm probably going to put on my bookshelf somewhere. And this was not cheap, y'all. This was about $28, but you're paying for this, right? And I also think that for those of you all that are popcorn bucket lovers, you can certainly, while you can't fit a ton of popcorn in this, if you're splitting popcorn with friends or family, there's an opportunity to add that. And then for the sundae, it is soft serve, not hard ice cream, and you can pick either chocolate or vanilla. It also comes with hot fudge as well as, a chocolate sauce. You could also pick between that or caramel, sprinkles, Snickers, and the maraschino cherries with whipped cream on top. And of course, they can switch it up. If you're someone that's like, I don't want my sundae topped with sprinkles or Snickers, or I would rather have caramel sauce instead of chocolate sauce, you can tell them that and they can improvise it. But this is a straightforward ice cream sundae. I'm gonna go ahead and tuck into this before it melts away. And getting into the ice cream, the soft serve tastes really good. It doesn't taste like some cheapy vanilla like ice cream knockoff. This is actually pretty good. At least it tastes pretty good quality soft serve ice cream. It's creamy, rich. The chocolate sauce, I'm also kind of shook because I was a little bit worried about it being low quality and just this whole thing tasting pretty cheap because, y'all, I know, like, for me, I just find sometimes certain experiences at Disney, especially when it comes to food, can be hit or miss. But this is actually good. It's straightforward, it's standard, it's an ice cream sundae. Nothing exceptional about it, but nothing bad. I certainly recommend this to split if you and friends want to come over to Pop Century, specifically if you want the ice cream truck. Now, if you're not staying here at this resort, if you are not trying to go out of your way, you don't need to come to Pop Century just for an ice cream. Like, this is a basic ass ice cream sundae, y'all. Like, pardon my French, but it's basic. It's nothing that you should go out of your way for. I came out here because I wanted to get this ice cream truck, and I'm like, why not get an ice cream sundae? But this hits the spot, especially on a hot day like this. And to give a little bit of a look of the container that the ice cream came in. So you see this here, they actually served ice cream in this, and you could choose not to put this in the truck, but come on y'all. We came out here to have some ice cream served by Mickey himself in the ice cream truck, and because they put it in this container, I had no problem putting it in there. My ice cream truck is actually very clean, no ice cream spilled in it, so I love the fact that they give you this to put in it for hygiene reasons as well. But you can see in here, this is a good amount of ice cream. So if you're wanting to know how splittable this is, very splittable, 2 people, perfect. 3, you got it. 4, I think that's when you're getting it a little bit of a stretch. If you have 4 people splitting this ice cream sundae, and we're talking about 4 adults, right? You can each get in a few bites and be totally fine. Now, if you have kids and you're a whole family coming in, that's probably not going to cut it and buy a whole family. You're like 2 adults, 2 kids, but it depends, right? But kids love ice cream. So, you know, I think it's perfect for, you know, 2 adults, a very small family. And if all else fails, of course, you don't have to get the ice cream truck to enjoy a sundae. You could get just a regular ice cream sundae without the truck. That is considerably cheaper, but I really wanted the truck. And my co-producer and I were talking that one of the things that was missing from this was I wish they would have given the option to have like peanuts added to the top and banana. And that would have been perfect, absolutely perfect. But honestly, y'all, I have no complaints about it. I am a little shook because I did not think the vanilla ice cream was going to be a good quality ice cream. I just wasn't sure because I'm like, oh, Pop Century, a lot of big groups are here. They're gonna kind of cheap out on the ice cream front. But no, the vanilla ice cream was really good. The chocolate sauce was good. And again, you can make some substitutions. The one thing that I feel like it comes with that it really doesn't need the Snickers. So it has bits of Snicker in it. And I honestly don't think it's needed because the Snicker, once it's in that cold ice cream, it gets really hard. So I think it could honestly do without that. But if I had to rate the sundae out of 5, I would give it a solid 3. Like I said, there's nothing exceptional about it, but it was good. So I recommend if you happen to be around Pop Century, or if you want to just come out here, get out of the park for just a moment, enjoy a fun little sundae. It's a nice little treat, and it wasn't difficult. You all saw the steps in the journey that we took to get from the Skyliner here. It was very easy, no issues, very walkable. So I recommend it if you just want something fun to do, like this experience that we're on. Now what we're gonna do is head back on the Skyliner and get back over to EPCOT and try some more treats with the Flower and Garden Festival. All right, friends, and just like that, we are back over in EPCOT, and we are going to head over to the Northern Bloom, which is back over near the Canada Pavilion, to try some scallops and maybe even some braised beef. So we're gonna look at the menu over here, because when we were passing by earlier this morning, we actually saw some menu items that just looked really delicious. So you see here, we're gonna get into these skewered scallops and the beef tenderloin tips. We wanted to try this delicious looking chocolate maple cake, but we're actually gonna hold off because we just had that ice cream over at Pop Century Resort. And we're also going to try the Collective Arts Brewing Grapefruit Wine Sour because that sounds really delicious. Hopefully the line is not too intense, because since we have circled back, you'll see that EPCOT has gotten a lot busier, and these are folks actually coming in toward this direction, but this line doesn't seem too bad at all. So we're just going to go ahead, hop on in, order our food items, and try them out. All right, so let me show you what some of these food items look like. Here are our beef tips here, which look really delicious. And then we have our seared scallops. Whoop, wanted to make sure that didn't drop. Wouldn't that be a disaster? And I'll tell you all, looking at the scallops alone before I even eat into anything, it's looking like the sear is not as strong as visually I would like it. Also, I was hoping there'd be like, I don't know, like 4 scallops, and it seems like there's more potato than scallop, but hopefully the taste will make up for the fact that you only get a couple, which I don't know if that's a good value at all, but let's get into it and try some of these items out. We're gonna kick things off with this grapefruit lime sour that I need to not spill. It's a little bit windier over here, but you see the color, nice blonde. And it also looks like there is a nice fizz going on here. So cheers, everyone. Ooh, that's really nice. Here. That is a nice taste. And I'm not a huge beer drinker, but I do have an appreciation for some tasty sours. I actually had my first, was it a grapefruit Jelly King? Is that what it was called in Toronto? Yeah. Well, we had this really great sour beer in Toronto, but this was so many years ago. And that was really my first sour beer experience, and that was delicious. This is really good, but sour beers can be a bit of an acquired taste. So if you're someone that's not a fan of sours, I probably wouldn't get it, but they have the beers in a couple of different sizes. Let's get into the scallops. Salad was good. Again, that sear. I wish the sear was harder on it. It's okay. It's good. Nothing exceptional. And I hate to say this, but it has a little bit of a fishy taste, which tells me that it may be an older scallop. So I can't recommend that to you all, like, in all honesty, like, it's all right. And again, I really hate the fact that you only get 2 scallops. I don't think that's a good value. I think that's a complete pass. Let's get into the beef. That is much better. Savory, flavorful. Let me try some of the potato. Like the mushroom, that tastes like Sunday's pot roast. So of those items, I recommend the beef. I recommend the sour beer. I don't recommend the scallops. Skip over that altogether. We are now over in the Honey Bistro area, where they have a honey glazed cauliflower we're interested in trying. And I think a couple other items. My co-producer was eyeballing the chicken and waffles, so y'all, I have a high bar for chicken and waffles, so that's not necessarily what I am interested in, but if he's interested in it, I'll try it out, you know, for the gram. But for me, a lot of people mistake chicken and waffles for chicken tenders and waffles, and I'm like, if it's not bone-in chicken, it's not chicken and waffles. Like, come on now, what did Gladys Knight teach you? If you've never been to Gladys Knight Chicken and Waffles, I highly recommend it. At least it's been, actually, let me not. It's been a long time since I've been there. It used to be so good. Drop down in the comments. If you are from the A or have been to the A and you've been to Gladys Knight's Chicken and Waffles, let me know. But at the end of the day, bone-in, well-seasoned fried chicken on top of a fluffy waffle that's crispy on the outside, chewy on the inside, that is what's up. And a lot of people, from my perspective, don't know how to do chicken and waffles justice. So I've kind of like given up on it unless I'm like in Atlanta, or it depends on where I'm traveling. And if you're known for your chicken and waffles, I'm more apt to try that. But let me know, are you a chicken and waffle lover? If so, where do you love getting chicken and waffles? Drop down in the comments, let your girl know. These food items look so good. Peep out the cauliflower glazed with honey. That almost looks like something I would find at the Festival of the Arts in terms of how beautiful this looks. I literally cannot wait to try this out. And then we have our chicken and waffle, which looks really interesting, but you have that chicken, I want to call it a chicken tender. But basically you have that butter, honey, and that waffle at the bottom, and we have our honey glaze. So we'll see how these items taste, but they both look really good, and I cannot wait to get into them. Trying out the honey glazed cauliflower first, and it has a puree in it, so Let me actually show you all a bit of what's under the hood. So we have some wild rice here. You could see, and a little bit of that puree and the cauliflower, and you have some grapes. So I cannot wait to see how good this is, and I hope it's as good as it looks. And we're not going to be disappointed. Actually, let's just start with the cauliflower first, and then we'll add some of the other ingredients to it. That is really tasty. I love the different textures. You have like the nuts, you have the kind of like wild rice, that puree, which I think is this a butternut squash? It kind of tastes like a butternut squash puree. This is very tasty. And I've had other items from this booth before in the past, and it's been shocking to me how good it is, like the vegetarian based items. This is another one I would recommend of the items we tried today. The beef tips were good. This is also equally delicious. The rice is cooked perfectly. It has a nice flavor. And it looks beautiful. So it has style and substance. Come on now. That's delicious. I'm feeling a little bit nervous about the chicken and waffle. Have you tried it? All right, let's see. All right, so here's our chicken and waffle. That is wild. So the honey is like a hot honey. I'm actually surprised. So the chicken tender at the top actually has a good flavor. It's not dry. The waffle is on the softer side. It doesn't taste as crunchy as I would like it, but there's a lot of good flavors going on in that chicken and waffle. Honestly, that would be another one I'd recommend as a good item because it has good flavors in it. It's not just sweet honey. You have a bit of heat in it. And the chicken tender is not dry, which of course has like that butter at the top. So all in all, both these dishes are solid dishes. I probably would give the chicken and waffle, I give it a 3. I give the cauliflower rice 3.5/4. Somewhere between that. Like, both these dishes are really good. On the way to get our last item on our adventure, we stopped in the Connection shop. Y'all, if you've seen my prior videos where I tell you sometimes it's good to wait, don't rush to buy something because you never know at Disney when it goes on sale. Now, there are certain items where, you know, you have to really make that quick, snappy decision because you never know. But in my very first Flower and Garden Festival, you know, we did a quick little walkthrough of these items. Now, that day, I did end up getting one of the Orange Bird mugs. Those are actually not on sale, which I'm surprised because there's a lot of those left. Let me tell you what is on sale. The Orange Bird lug bag, I ended up getting this. This was $50, y'all. It's on sale for $30. Do you see that? I'm like, oh, I wonder if I could take it back and exchange it. But y'all, let me tell you the huge kicker. These, thank God, I did not buy this. Now, I was really interested in this Loungefly because this is bigger than the typical Loungefly that they have. And you have this spacious pocket. And so I saw this, and I love Orange Bird. It's probably my favorite Disney character. And I thought about it, and I'm like, I don't want to pay, because I want to say this was $90. And lo and behold, we walk by. These are on sale right now for $40, and I get my annual pass holder discount on top of that. And regularly, y'all see that price at $90. So I am going to go ahead and pick up one of these because they're on sale right now. Also, for those of you all that are Buzz the Bee fans, they have these on sale as well. Now, these were $65 regularly, and now they're on sale for $40. So you see they have so many of these they're trying to clear out right now. So sometimes it pays to just be patient. If you see that, and I think this is the trick to it, if you see that there are a lot of a particular item, and again, sometimes this doesn't apply because it's something that gains traction and popularity, it's gonna go like that. But if you see something that, you know, it looks like a lot, I have the privilege of being a local, so I can always kind of like eyeball these things out, but it pays to wait. Also, sometimes it pays to look on the official Disney shop online. Stuff always goes on sale there. Now, not all of these items are available on the Disney.com shop, but some of them are. So always just check back periodically. There's something that you like and you're like, I don't have to have this. If it goes on sale, I'll get it. Otherwise, I'm just gonna pass. So always check back online because sometimes you can get an even better deal. And our last stop today is going to be at my boo Jofferys, and guess who is here to greet us? Donald is working the community garden. He's giving, I know how to grow some flowers. He's giving, listen, don't come over here and mess up my vegetables. I am here to grow and get you girls who think you have a garden. It ain't like this. He's getting us all together. And we'll see. I am curious about this particular coffee at Jofferys. If I'm not mistaken, it should be an iced pistachio latte. You all know Jofferys and I have a bad romance. So we'll see if he's going to be doing me dirty or if he's going to do your girl right today. And here is the iced pistachio banana breeze. And I think the thing that I am most concerned about is it going to taste like fresh banana or is it going to taste artificial? Let's try it out. All right, my friends, here is the pistachio banana iced latte. Looks pretty good, but looks can be deceiving, right? So let's try this out. Cheers, the last drink of the day. Oh, that's nice. That is actually much more heavier on the espresso than what I thought. Also, I taste more banana than I do pistachio, and the banana is actually not bad at all. It doesn't taste artificial, so this is a good one. I still think my best, or the best, Java iced coffee drink or iced latte drink more appropriately is the berries and cream latte that's over in the US Pavilion. That one is still the best one at the Flower and Garden Festival in my opinion. I like this one actually second, and then the Strawberry Island iced latte that we tried in my former video, that one's a third. All of these though are pretty solid. This one doesn't taste overly sweet, which is nice. I thought the Strawberry Island one tasted a little bit sweeter for my preference, but the reigning crown in terms of the iced coffees here at the Flower and Garden Festival is going to have to go to that berries and cream, but this one is a good second place alternative. Y'all, with that being said, thank you so much for joining me on this exciting journey where we have spent all of our money because Disney is taking our coin. So we're walking out of here with our ice cream truck. We're walking out of here with another lounge fly, a coffee. Life is good, y'all. So with that being said, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for joining me. And what did we learn? Well, I know I personally learned that penguins got soul. I was so excited to take that character photo and followed up when we got back from our trip on the Skyliner. Daisy was outside. So it was really nice to get a hug with Daisy. And again, like the line was super, super short. So if you ever want kind of like those one-off character photos, sometimes peek around the corner because you will have it where random characters will pop up that are a little bit more rare and they're not always announced. And what's great is that the lines are typically far shorter / almost non-existent when you think about the long lines for character photos. So peep those out. Don't forget to always look around the corner, and Start your day with Java and Journeys with Jillian, because we always need to stay caffeinated on every journey. Catch you on the next adventure. Bye.